April 10th, 2010, dawned like any other spring day in Poland, but by day's end it would be forever etched in the nation's memory as a day of unimaginable tragedy. A Polish Air Force Tupolev Tu-154M carrying Poland's President Lech Kaczyński and 95 other passengers crashed as it attempted to land in heavy fog at Smolensk North Airport near Smolensk, Russia. The delegation was en route to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the Katyn massacre, a somber event in Polish history. Aboard the plane were high-ranking government officials, military commanders, and representatives of various religious denominations. These were individuals who shaped the course of Poland's present and held the promise of shaping its future. Their mission to Katyn carried profound historical weight. The delegation's presence at the 70th anniversary was meant to be a solemn act of remembrance and a step towards reconciliation. Their untimely deaths sent shockwaves through Poland, leaving a nation grappling with the enormity of its loss and the uncertainty of the future. The Tu-154M aircraft, carrying Poland's elite, departed Warsaw early that morning. Their destination, Smolensk North Airport, a small military airfield in western Russia. The delegation was scheduled to attend a memorial ceremony at the Katyn forest, just a short distance from the airport. As the plane approached Smolensk, however, the weather took a turn for the worse. A thick fog had descended upon the airfield, significantly reducing visibility. Despite the deteriorating weather, the pilots made several attempts to land. Each time they were forced to abort due to poor visibility. The final approach proved fatal. The aircraft, flying too low and too slow, clipped the tops of trees on its final descent, crashing into the ground with tremendous force. There were no survivors. The crash sent shockwaves around the world. News outlets broadcast images of the wreckage, the mangled fuselage a stark reminder of the tragedy. Rescue workers rushed to the scene, but their efforts proved futile. All 96 passengers and crew members perished in the crash. Immediately following the tragedy, two separate investigations were launched. The first, led by the Interstate Aviation Committee, MAC, the Russian Aviation Authority, concluded that pilot error was the primary cause of the crash. The second investigation, conducted by the Polish Committee for Investigation of National Aviation Accidents, KBWALP, largely corroborated the MAK's findings. They too pointed to pilot error as the main cause of the crash, citing inadequate training and the pilots succumbing to psychological pressure to land in adverse conditions. However, the Polish investigation also highlighted contributing factors, including deficiencies in air traffic control and the airport's inadequate navigation equipment. The differing interpretations of the evidence and the ongoing debate over the crash's causes fueled public distrust and suspicion. The Smolensk air disaster, already a national tragedy, became a breeding ground for conspiracy theories and a source of political tension. The news of the crash spread like wildfire through Poland, plunging the nation into a state of collective shock and mourning. People gathered in homes, churches, and public squares, their faces etched with disbelief and sorrow. Poland had lost its president, its first lady, and a significant portion of its leadership in one fell swoop. The days following the crash were marked by an outpouring of grief. Thousands lined the streets of Warsaw as the coffins of the victims, draped in the Polish flag, were returned home. Memorial services were held throughout the country, with millions participating in moments of silence and candlelight vigils. The nation came together in a remarkable display of unity and solidarity. The collective grief was palpable, a shared experience that transcended social and political divides. Despite the official investigations, the Smolensk air disaster remains a source of controversy and speculation in Poland. Conspiracy theories abound, fueled by distrust of Russia and the perceived lack of transparency in the investigations. Some believe the crash was no accident, but rather a deliberate act of sabotage orchestrated by Russia. These theories, though lacking conclusive evidence, have gained traction among a segment of the Polish population. They point to inconsistencies in the official reports, alleged cover-ups, and the historical tensions between Poland and Russia as evidence to support their claims. The Kremlin has vehemently denied any involvement in the crash, dismissing the conspiracy theories as baseless and inflammatory. The proliferation of conspiracy theories has had a divisive effect on Polish society. The lack of a definitive and universally accepted explanation for the crash continues to fuel suspicion and mistrust. The Smolensk air disaster is more than just a historical event in Poland. It is a lived experience, a collective trauma that continues to shape the nation's consciousness. Memorials have been erected across the country, serving as solemn reminders of the tragedy and the lives lost. The crash site near Smolensk has become a pilgrimage site for many Poles, a place to pay their respects and reflect on the fragility of life. The loss of so many prominent figures created a void in the country's leadership, leading to political instability and a shift in the balance of power. The disaster also strained relations between Poland and Russia, hindering efforts at reconciliation and cooperation. Yet, amidst the tragedy and the lingering questions, the Smolensk air disaster also revealed the resilience of the Polish spirit. The nation's outpouring of grief, unity, and solidarity in the face of unimaginable loss demonstrated the strength of the Polish people. The event served as a stark reminder of the importance of national unity and the need to cherish the memory of those who perished.